Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Sessionow's Women in Business. This is a place where we believe that every woman is worthy of the world hearing her story. I am your host, Stephanie Montgomery, and I'm so excited to interview our guest today. She is a longtime member of Sestranow Sisterhood, and her name is Michelle Renee Druitt Alexander. She is a mother, she's a grandmother, she's a parent advocate for autistics and parents and caregivers. She's an advocate for women and the founder and CEO of AuSome Family and Travel. Did I mention that she's also an author? There's so many, this woman wears so many hats. This sister wears so many hats that I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. So, Michelle, welcome to Women in Business.
Stephanie, thank you so very much for having me. I'm excited about everything that's going on with the sisterhood, with Sestra, with everything. And it's a pleasure to be here. So again, I thank you for having me.
Okay, so we are going to start. I wanted you to tell us a little bit about where you were born and where you were raised. Where do you reside currently? And as I share these photos with everyone, you can tell us what we're looking at here, okay?
Okay. I was born and raised in Harlem. I still reside here. I wasn't born in Harlem. I was born downtown, New York Hospital. And I'm still here. I was raised here. The pictures that you're looking at that is my late husband and my oldest son, Darren, my mom, me, and my youngest son, Kevin Ellis. We took that for Christmas one year. And the picture next to it, that is me and my oldest son's father, Darren, and that's Darren that he's holding. That was at the christening, which was amazing.
Awesome. Okay. And so, Stephanie, let's get the next screen. All right. And who is this cutie pie here?
That is my granddaughter, Morgan Jane. She's going to be 4 in November. And the other picture is me and Kevin Ellis, fondly known as the captain. That was his graduation from high school.
Okay. All right. Congratulations to Kevin.
Thank you. Yes. This is one of my favorite pictures. Before Morgan came along and before my son got engaged, the three of us used to travel all over. Just, we go down south, we just travel all over. And Darren, my oldest son, he lives upstate in Clifton Park. And he used to call us the unit. So he used to say, "Come on, unit, get in the car and let's go." We had a lot of fun. Kevin Ellis and his brother are extremely close. So we had a good time traveling together.
All right, so let's talk about the captain, Kevin Ellis, who we all know and love. Tell us about your journey to starting AuSome Families and what inspired you to start your travel company?
AuSome Families. Well, first of all, AuSome Families is a soon-to-be nonprofit. That's a tedious process. But what prompted me to start AuSome Families is, me and my son, we've gone on cruises together and we travel together. And a lot of people say, "Oh, he's just so wonderful. I wish I could travel like that." And I was like, "Well, why can't you?" They said, "Well, we don't like to travel because people stare at us." And then I said to myself, it would be great if we could travel in a group. And so with AuSome Families, I was already a travel agent. So what I did was, matter of fact, so this had come to me before from my former business partner. But my upline in IntelliTravel, she said, you should do a cruise for special needs individuals and their families. And I said, okay. I set up a group. And to my surprise, long story short, we went to the Bahamas last year and we had 16 people to go with us. So I said, okay, this is something that I need to keep doing. Because the more I did it, then people say, it was like, we want to go, we want to go, we want to go. So I said, I'm going to set up AuSome Families because they also said we can't afford to go. So what
Who is we? So when you
we
say we, you're talking about
about the
families that have
yeah,
special needs, individuals, they
yes.
require, tell me about like, what is considered, special needs? It's not just autism. Like, I'm
So
sure
it's
there
not
are
just
other type of, go ahead.
oh, special needs is what we like to call a different ability. So there's autism, Down syndrome, uh, you name it. Anything that is not what people consider normal. The special needs community is also referred to as disabled. We don't really like to use that word
Yes.
because it doesn't empower them. So we say a different ability. So anybody with a different ability, I don't care what it is. And a lot of
Okay.
times these families don't have the income because, you know, going to work and maintaining a job is difficult.
Yes.
You get calls from home, and companies don't care about that. They don't care about you being a special needs mom or a special needs dad. They want you there to do
Yes.
that work. So, they can't afford trips and respite and vacations. And so that's AuSome Family was born to give uh, hope to the special needs community. It was born to have give them the opportunity to travel because travel changes us, and I want everybody to have the opportunity. Now, we only just don't serve the special needs community. We serve all caregivers. So if you're taking care of an elderly mother, elderly father, and that's what we do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm excited about the St. Lucia trip myself. So don't
Yes.
forget about me for that one. So
Oh no.
thank you for the amazing work that you're doing. Like you said, it's not just for the special needs community. You will book travel generally for
Yes.
anyone, but
Yes.
this is your niche,
Please.
so to
Right.
speak, because of your
Yes, ma'am.
experience. So let's just get into that a little bit. Captain May I, right? So you're also an author. Tell us about your book, Captain May I, what inspired that and how you got started on the
I
reading of this book.
my my coach, Stephanie Carter Jernigan, who is also my friend, she has been fighting me to write this book for a couple of years. And I just kept telling her, And then one day she said, you know what? I'm sick of you. Write the damn book. And so I was like, okay, ma'am. And I just started writing. And as I was writing, then I would just make notes. AuSome Families, Captain May I, all of it is to give hope to all communities, but in
Yes.
particular, what I like to call a forgotten community. The special needs community is just one of forgotten communities. Um, domestic violence survivors, formerly
Yes.
incarcerated women, trauma impacted women. There are so many communities that
Yes.
we ignore and we forget about. So I can't do everything. So I just carved out my small part. And so when I was writing Captain May, I wanted to give hope to the special needs moms and dads that feel that they're alone, to let them know someone is going through this and someone is going through this and people are going to be going through it. Communicate with people, reach out. So when I was writing the book, I was just, explaining about how we got the diagnosis with Kevin Ellis, what me and my husband went through. I mentioned about just ready to strangle him. And but he found his way. It's not easy,
Yes.
yeah, it's not. I tell people, being a special needs parent is not for punks because it's not.
Yes, yes, yes. I can't even imagine what it's like. I have a nephew that is special needs. He's in a special care center like from when he was younger because he needs assistance with everything. Like he
Right.
cannot,
Understand.
and I actually bought your book. I read your book. So I know you have a part in here it takes a lot to train when you have a special needs child to even train them with what other mothers think is a challenge, like as far as teaching them how to go to the bathroom. Like
Yep.
you had this challenge, and you talk about it in the book, Captain May I. And my nephew is in a facility because he actually he never learned. You know what I mean? He
Right.
never learned how to go to the bathroom, so he needs full care
Full
24/7
care.
all day, and he has other medical concerns which
Yes. A lot of
make it
times they do.
necessary for him to be somewhere for 24/7 care.
Right,
But
yes, supervision, yeah. Um, that's often the time the case. There are plenty of individuals that need assisted living. They need supervision, constant supervision. And so that's another thing I told the parents, because I know a couple of my moms have had to put their children in assisted living because they were either violent or
yes,
they got to the place where they just couldn't care for them. So, we do have options. Sometimes we don't feel that they are the best, but we do have to do what's in our family's best interest.
all right. So moving right on, we can segue into sisterhood, because you said something like in your community, it seems to me it's like you're a part of an organization of what autism moms, and you're actually known and as the ambassador for sisterhood, because you've joined many sisterhoods, right? And
Yes, I have.
you're active in many different sisterhoods, and hence the what we see on the screen, sisterhood is powerful. And that's how I met you, because you came out to a networking event and then you joined Sestranow. So just tell us about how you feel about sisterhood, and what are your future plans for that.
Sisterhood is a blessing and it's a gift. I have learned so much about sisterhoods, and just like you mentioned, I belong to quite a few networks. But I look at sisterhood as one big family.
Yes.
And recently, a couple of months ago, I know I did a live, and I was saying, sisterhood is not for everybody. Sisterhood is not for everybody. But I was corrected, because it's not that sisterhood is not for everybody. It's just that you have to find your sisterhood. You have to find the sisterhood that is conducive to what
yes,
how you think and your mindset. But there's a sisterhood for every single person. And I strongly believe that it's the way to go, because we weren't meant to be here and do things alone. We were not meant to do it. We were not meant to do it alone. And one of the things that we find hard, especially as women, especially as Black women, as women of color, we find it hard to ask for help. And that's one of the things to our detriment. And
I agree. As a leader, and the founder of Sestranow, and like this is what this is all about.
Right.
Promoting women in business, nonprofits, for-profits, in the spirit of sisterhood, to give the women a voice. As we said, like the women in business, Sestranow's Women in Business is a place where every woman is, worthy of having her story told to the world. So I am just so thankful for Peggy Dotson, the CEO and founder of UBC TV, and for you for introducing me to her. That's all sisterhood. But for you, me networking with you, I would have never met UBC TV. And as you know, UBC TV has become our media partner, and a large part of what the services that Sestranow is now able to offer, because this is streaming globally on Roku and other platforms, and there's a wealth of benefits now because of that. And I thank you so much for making that introduction. Welcome. And you're going to and let's speak to the benefit of sisterhood. You're going to benefit for that introduction for years and years to come. Absolutely. UBC TV is a force to reckon with. Sestranow is a force to reckon with. We're going to grow. And because you did this introduction, we're going to make sure you're good, Michelle, right? So that is what sisterhood gets you.
Yes, it does. People don't understand the benefits and perks of sisterhood. One of the things that is extremely important is being able to connect and network. I've known Peggy Dotson for over 10 years, and I met her through networking and, connecting. She's a force to be reckoned with. I tell you that. She is a little powerhouse, and I just love her. Yes.
Yes. And I have come to love her, and she's come to love me, and we both thank you so much. And with three of us, we continue to work together, and we're going to do this. So let's move on. You do so much. It's just hard to cover it in this short time. So you're also, not only are you an advocate for caregivers, autistic parents. You're the mother of a special needs individual yourself, and you also have a son and a granddaughter, a beautiful granddaughter. You're an author. You're a leader within many sisterhoods and women's organizations, just constantly giving. Anyone can come and take a look at your page and see all that you do to give back to your, not just your community. You ride around. I saw that you had another event recently, where you're out just giving to the community, giving back,
Yeah,
right? But
right.
you're also the BooBFairy. You care about women and their health and
Yes,
their
yes.
boobies. Tell us about that.
It's so funny. Being an advocate for women, there are so very many challenges that we face. But us, when we sit around, we talk about, and I have people laughing. I said, we talk about our children, our menstrual cycle, men, and bras. Those are some of the four leading topics, and of course, shopping and stuff like that. But I've sat around, and I mean myself as a young woman, I come from a family of top heavy women, and
Yes.
that is challenging. It's challenging, especially when you're young, and people are staring at you and men are making cat calls. But more importantly, my bra was very uncomfortable. Now, I had a procedure, I had a breast reduction, and I thought, I was like, oh yes, I'm gonna get some cute bras. No, because first and foremost, underwire is very unhealthy for us. So that was one of the things they said, no underwire. Now, even with the breast reduction, I still need a lot of support. So we fast forward, and just talking, like I said, networking and talking. This woman said, well, have you ever heard of Ruby Ribbon? And I said, no. And we got to talking and talking and talking. And months later, I had an event. I reached out to her. I got what they call a strapless cami. Now, women that are top heavy, strapless bras are not our friends. They're not. However, this cami that I got from Ruby Ribbon, I put it on, and it was like magic. It was holding me, and I was jumping up and down, and then I was dancing, and I said, "This is great." More importantly, there was no boob sweat, which I got an infection with the boob sweat. That's a whole other story. But there was no boob sweat, and then I said to myself, and I started looking online at it, and the prices. I said, that's a little out of my range. But once I talked and joined the company, they showed me ways to be able to afford it. I'll be honest with you, I joined the company to be able to afford the pieces. And one of my clients, her name is Lori Turner. She used to do social media for Lisa Nichols. Yeah, she used to do social media for Lisa Nichols. She said, you know who you are? You're the BooBFairy. And I said, excuse me. And she took a picture of me in that dress that I had worn that dress a few years ago. I was going on my birthday, and I posed. She took the picture. She put a wand in my hand and wings on my back and dubbed me the BooBFairy. So someone else took it and made it animated, and this is what you see here. So yeah, I'm the BooBFairy. And honestly speaking, a lot of people know me more as the BooBFairy than Michelle Renee. People say, "Oh yeah, I know you. You're the BooBFairy." Yeah, I am. It's a blessing to be able to help women, to be more comfortable, and I believe that comfort brings confidence. So it is.
Thank
It's
you
a
for
pleasure.
all you do to save us from the awful bras that we've been
Yes, they
wearing
are.
for
They're
decades.
horrible. They're horrible.
So they can also come to you not only for travel and to get connected to amazing sisterhoods and networks, but they can also come to you women can come to you to get rid of those awful bras. And this, what we're looking at here, is when you met
When
Annette
we
and I,
met, yes,
co-founder for Sestranow, more
yes,
than a year ago at a
right.
Harlem event. And that was exciting, and look at
Listen,
how far we come since that time.
exactly. But you know what? When I saw you guys, now about 2 weeks before then, I saw the group. I saw the page.
Yes.
I saw the page, and I said, "Oh wow, this is amazing." Because mind you, now I belong to a network of women, but it's a sisterhood. But I'm gonna say one thing: I'm not gonna join another group, not one other group, because you already know the groups. Uh, a lot of them say they promote sisterhood, but they don't, and that's fine. That's okay. But it's not that they don't promote sisterhood. The sisterhood that they're promoting is not for me. So
Yes.
the thing that I want people to understand is, especially us women, because we do so much, we are not alone. So and you know what, too, God is good, because usually that was the first time that I had come out since the pandemic. And being that I know Mark Alston and all of those people in Claudette, and I told them I was coming, we were all excited. I came, we screamed, but I was downstairs. We screamed and carried on. I saw a couple of my childhood friends there. So it was a wonderful thing. And something said, go upstairs. Now, I knew Trish Womack because she was up there. I saw her there. And someone said, just go upstairs. And I went upstairs and I saw the Sestranow thing. And I was like, ah. And you and Annette looked and said, oh God. I said, I don't want to scare. I want to scare. But I was ecstatic to meet you guys. Because like I said, I had seen the pictures, I've seen posts, and I understood that this was something that was, and I want to say different, because I know you talk about sisterhood and you want to help women in business, and you're doing the Pakistan project, which I think is amazing.
Why don't you tell us this, right? Why don't you give us three relationships? Because I believe I know I can put myself on the spot as the founder and CEO of Sestranow now, because I've been watching. State three relationships that you developed as a result of your involvement in the Sestranow Sisterhood that help you move forward. Tell us, give us three relationships that you could say over the last year, that came through Sestranow. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Oh no. One of the relationships, and this is crazy, and this is what I tell people how God works. Real quickly, I do a lot of networking, as you know, and a gentleman named Chaplain James, he's all over. He's, he does all kinds of stuff, and he always comes out to the networking events. And he came out to a networking event. And he said to me, he said, "Listen, I have a mom for you. Will you be able to help her?" And I said, "Yes." And the woman is Liliana Maria. Liliana is Chaplain Maria. And I met her. We went back and forth for a little while, and we lost contact. I didn't see her anymore. And, I said, okay. Then fast forward, I reconnected with her in Sestranow. So that is a blessing. She is an amazing grant writer. She does contracts. She's the reason why we've gotten involved in these community projects, which I am extremely grateful for. Adrienne Harper Smith, I knew Adrienne already. I knew Carmen already. Who else? Carmen, I knew already.
I believe it's Devon, who did your website. Like you used some of them for your website. Right.
Devin did my website. Devin did my website, and you know what? And Badra did my website. Devin didn't. I met Devin. She's an autistic mom, and I'm going to bring her on board to help the moms when they set up their business. Because see, AuSome Families is not just for travel; it's going to be a resource as well. So yeah, Devin and Vadra. Vadra did an amazing job on my website. That everybody, after I showed them, they was like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." She's amazing, and she also does flyers for me for AuSome Families. Matter of fact, I got to reach out to her. But see,
so I just wanted to give concrete examples that we're not just here. It's not about gossiping. We do have our challenges and our issues, among women. We have our ups and our downs, but there's more positive that comes from these networks, these sisterhoods, than there is the negative. So let's move on. I have a few questions to ask you, and then we're gonna wrap up, and then we're gonna play a little game, right? So what is your biggest challenge in life and in business? What would you say is your biggest challenge in life and business?
My biggest challenge is being patient. And you know what? The thing about it is, I found that developing my relationship with God has helped me, because I could be a bit intolerant, I could be a bit impatient, and it is because when you know you have something that is so powerful and you're trying to share it, and people are like, they're ghosting you. Well, I have learned that everything ain't for everybody,
Yes.
and they're going to have to come on their own. There are people that are going to, like you said, there are people that are going to get it, and then there are people that are not. So,
Yes.
I've learned to be able to accept that, and it's
Patience.
right. It becomes less and less of a challenge, because I say, you know what, oh well, and move on. Because let's not forget, like you said, there are millions of women. You understand? And I'm
Billions,
constantly
4 billion in
for
the
4
world.
billion. Okay, look, and
4 billion.
I'm constantly meeting new people, just like at the meet and greet. The meet and greet in Brooklyn that we had at the Bluefin, was that not amazing? The only thing here was
UBCTV meet and greet.
right, yeah, it was a little warm, but but sisterhood is a powerful thing, but it can be challenging, it can be frustrating, and sometimes it
So
can be over
patience is the thing,
patience.
your biggest. So what do you want to accomplish in business and in life before you leave this earth, Michelle?
I want my legacy to be one of patience, tolerance, hope, compassion,
You want to leave
perseverance.
a legacy.
I
You
want
want
to
to
leave. I
leave
want
a
to leave a
legacy.
legacy. Yes, I want to leave. I want to leave. I want to be the person who they say, well, she did it, I can do it. And that's
Yes.
what I want to be.
Wow.
I want to be the change that I want to see.
I hear you, and thank you for that. If you could write a note to your 15-year-old self, what would you tell her?
What I would tell her is, don't join so many of those darn women's groups. And I mean that. I mean that. Listen, I have, too, and I went through, and because don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with promoting your business. But what they fail to realize is, if you are going to really create multiple streams of income, you have to build relationships. You
Yes.
can't just walk in and people are gonna buy your stuff. You're not Macy's on Bloomingdale's. They want to try to entrepreneurs. I see they want the perks of being a big business. But if
Yes.
you're an entrepreneur and you're independent, you might not have the resources that a corporation has. And in order to get the resources, you have to build relationships, because you never know who you're going to run into. The person you talk to might be a billionaire, and they say, you know what, that's a great idea. I'm going to invest in you. And then boom, it's over. And we've talked about
Yes.
that many times, because we know that there are women out there that are looking for Sestranow. Now, it might not be for everybody, but I encourage everybody to join a sisterhood. Get in
Just
there,
find a sisterhood in general.
join it. And there are quite a few of them out there. Get in there, join it. If it's not for you, then say, you know what, or maybe
Move on.
go away and come back. Step away and come back. Because the sisterhoods, that's another thing too about us. We're constantly building, we're constantly growing. Just like with you. And constantly partnering with organizations and corporations, just like the relationship with UBCTV, which is huge, because now everybody is going to get the exposure that they want. Now, you can offer them the opportunity, just like we talked about. Some will take it and some won't. But like I said,
Yes.
you know what's going to happen? When they see that train leaving the station, they're going to run behind it. It's going to pick up speed, and they're going to trip and fall.
Yes. Okay. So, Michelle, as we wrap this up, how may we help you level up and support you? Our viewers, this is streaming globally throughout the world on Roku. How may we help you and support you? Where can we find your book, your travel services, and get rid of our bras? Tell us all about that.
Okay. One of the things that is the easiest thing, cost you nothing. Share my information. Tell people about AuSome Families. Tell them about the BooBFairy. Tell them about Captain May I. That book has helped a lot of people. It has helped a lot of people. And I was surprised. I sold about 1,000 copies.
Yes.
And this is when I pre-ordered, because my coach said, yeah, let's pre-order because that'll help with the shipping cost. I mean, the shipping cost and the printing cost. I was shocked that I still sold 1,000 copies. And I say this not only for me, share information. If you put up a post, or your friend or somebody that's in there, take their post, share it. Put @followers on it so your followers can see it. Now that is something that's simple.
So
Very,
Michelle,
very, very, yes.
You are on the Sestranow app because, like we spoke about, you do many things like your book. We want our viewers to get your book. We want them to take advantage of your travel. We want them to take advantage of your bras. Isn't it true that they can find all of these things on the Sestranow app in one place?
Yep. And that's what's good about the Sestranow app. We didn't talk about that Sestranow app. That's a godsend. That's godsend. And I forgot to tell you, I think someone reached out to me. I haven't heard from her. This was a while ago.
But let's stay focused on your interview. We can talk about that after.
This was about the bras, and she reached out to me because she saw the bras on the Sestranow app.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
So for the viewers, the Sestranow app is a app marketplace and social media app for women in general. It has a marketplace that houses the business products and services of women. So you can find Michelle's products and services there, as well as all of the women that you see interviewed on Women in Business. We're building out that app to be not only a resource to buy products and services, but also for nonprofit organizations that service women and children, so that they can come there, and our Sestranow app is a resource to them. So now I want to thank Michelle for telling us all about what she does. You can find her on the app, and we're going to play a little game before we wrap this up, okay? So, Michelle, we got 30 seconds here. I want the viewers to get to know you a little better. So answer my questions. The answer is going to be, you're going to pick one, or you're going to say neither, okay?
Okay.
Las Vegas or Italy?
Italy.
Shower or bath?
Bath. Fried
chicken or baked chicken?
Fried chicken. I hate to say it, but if I said baked chicken, I'd be lying.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook.
Uber or Lyft?
Lyft.
Pepsi or Coca-Cola?
I'm not supposed to have that, but Pepsi.
Bus or train?
Oh, please, the bus. I want to get on the train. Somebody pay me. But now what kind of bus are we talking about?
I just said
okay, bus.
Burger or hot dog?
Hot dog.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Not New York Beach.
Not New York Beach. We got to be clear about that. Not no beach in New York City. No.
So that answers my question. Yes. New York or Florida? Because you're in, or Jamaica, because you're already in New York, I would assume you would just go to Jamaica, right?
Yes, I've never been, and I would love to go to Jamaica. Yes.
All right. Michelle, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Women in Business as our guest. This was an amazing interview. It was educating, and it was just great to chat with you about sisterhood. So we're going to end this episode by sending everyone to the Sestranow app for women to take advantage of the products and services that Michelle Renee Alexander Druitt is offering, and to support her. All right. And this will conclude this episode of Women in Business, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye. It was a pleasure.
Bye-bye.